Hello and welcome to another Havoc Sons video. Well, today I'm on my mobile mic, so my audio should be better, so you can hear this lonely country road. It's like 8 in the morning. This is the only road out of this valley, even though these are huge 5, 10, 25 acre lots. Unfortunately, down that road is a place called Canyon Lake. It is a private community that developers decided to buy from Audie Murphy, the estate of Audie Murphy after he died. And they built a private community. And the only way out or in is through this lonely country road, which turned my beautiful lonely country parcel into a freaking highway. Whatever. Life goes on. So anyway, what are we doing today? Today we're going to be looking at the carburetor. And my dog knows I turned on the camera, so she's doing the thing she does. Just runs around. What are you doing, little puppy? Runs around. She wants to be on show. Oh, she's gonna run by me. Woo! I don't know, weird dog. She likes to be on camera. She is very fast, very agile. She tore up my cushion. See it down there? And she understands words, so she heard me say cushion, wanted to run back there and show her a great job. What you doing, little puppy? She's a beautiful dog. I love her very much. Her name is Zena. So today, I am going to be working on the carburetor because there's a couple of issues. One of them is the throttle's stuck. Can't move it. And I'm sure it's down in the carburetor. Now, the last time I had to get to the fuel lines and remove the fuel tank, so I had to remove the seat. I don't think I'm going to have to do that today. It is a very nice and crisp 51 degrees, and my fingers are frozen. So I'm having a hard time moving the wrench. Or the socket wrench. So there's 6 bolts to take off the fairing. 4 of them are 10 millimeter and 2 of them are 12 millimeter. First thing I like to do is take off the collar. It's nice when a bolt rolls right in front of your face. I like that. I like it a lot. Weird mounting hardware. Like a standoff. Couple of things you need to watch out for. It is a standoff bolt pattern, and it also bolts to the block, which means very fragile, because that's an aluminum head, I think, where it bolts to. Part of it is aluminum. So when you put it in, you got to make sure that you put it in straight, and you don't over torque it when you go to tighten it down. Take off this little rubber section here. Most of the bolts on this are 10s. So the carburetor bolts are a little bit hard to remove. They're 8 millimeters and there are 2 of them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of these hose locks on the hoses here. Wish I had a motorcycle ramp, you know, something where you can, like Musty One has this ramp that he can drive all his vehicles on. Anytime you can sit down on the job. So I have to take the choke cable off. It's pretty hard to get this one off because it's got the smog valve in the way. Yeah, there's only 1 bolt holding it in. The other 3, I tell you, I have ridden this bike a ton. So it's just been riding perfect all the time. You don't never need to check it. And I've only got 1 bolt. The other 3 are gone. And those might be a little bit difficult to find. So all we got left is the throttle cable, which, like I said, is stuck. Unscrew the top of it here. Wow. It is stuck. Never seen that before. Yeah, now it works. Yeah, throttle cable's fine. Okay, so here's what the carburetor looks like, and this is the original. This is a Yamamoto, designed in Japan. So I believe this was the original carburetor for this bike. And trust me when I tell you this, do everything you can to save original carburetors. The stuff you buy from China is just crap. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. I have bought a few carburetors from China, more than I'd like to say. And sometimes the jets are wrong. Sometimes the jets will come plugged with a little bit of metal shavings. They're just nightmares. You'd be better off looking for a genuine carburetor. And how do you know if it's genuine or not? Well, pretty much everything that comes out of Japan, the craftsmanship is far better. Now, I have bought products from China that are great. But their quality control, in general terms, is horrible. All right, so now what I think I'm going to do is we're going to move. We are going to move to my bench. Okay, so I've got the carburetor on my bench. We're going to go ahead and disassemble it. Now, a lot of times people will buy these passports, and the first thing that's always going to happen on a passport, pretty much 90% of the time, is the carburetor's going to not work. If you find this to be the case for your carburetor, I cannot emphasize this point enough. If your carburetor says made in Japan, keep it, rebuild it, do whatever you can to save it. Because if you buy, and those carburetors out of China are gonna be tempting. They're junk. No, I know this firsthand because I have bought generic for bought? Is botten? I don't know. Doesn't sound right. I have bought a plethora. Yeah, I think the only way you can get this out is take that out. Take that choke valve out. I don't think we need to do that. Oh, that's interesting. That was pinched. That's not good. So, you're going to find your problems here in these needle valves. Very thin little holes in them. And they plug up all the time. And the best way to clean them out is with a very thin wire. See, look at those holes on the side. And I really don't even see any, I can't see through it either. I'm not gonna worry about this because this is plastic. And I'm gonna be dropping this inside a cleaning solution. I don't know how that plastic's gonna hold up. So I'm gonna try to take the butterfly choke assembly off. I mean, I do not want to hurt this carburetor in any way. Okay, got it out. Good luck on trying to put that back together. This will be ready to, I don't even know where my dump tank is. Oh, there it is. 17? Guess correctly. You have chosen wisely. This is kind of cool, this part. And it is always overlooked. Because this is, I'm not mistaken, where the original filter went for this bike. Yeah, look at all the crud that's in there. Look at that. This filter is really all you need. As long as it's clean and replaced. I remember that was one of the first things I did. But you can see all the crud in there that it stopped from getting in. Actually, well, that could have been a problem. There's a little piece of rubber. Another little piece of rubber. I don't know where that came from. Didn't look like it came from here, though. This one looks pretty bad. I don't know where my rebuild kits are. I have a lot of them, but I don't know where they're at. So hopefully that one's salvageable, that gasket. Really, all I'm trying to do is clean this thing. What I've noticed is a lot of times when you put more filters than this on your bike, what happens is your bike, when it gets to reserve, sometimes will prematurely run out of fuel. Needle valve looks pretty good. This mic's so good you can hear me breathe. So we're gonna put this in. Hopefully that'll go down enough. So we're gonna let that sit there for probably a day. I'll let that soak for a day. I'm in no hurry. And then I have got to find a wire brush used to clean out the jet holes. It has to be thin wire bristle brush. Usually you can pluck one of the bristles off. Pebble towels. This is pretty old. I don't know if O'Reilly still has this. This is really great for getting your hands clean. I don't know what they put on it, what's in it. It's pretty amazing stuff. And I've had this tub of towels because I was in a move and doing a lot of different things. I've had this tub of towels for over a year and they still moist and wet, which I like, because a lot of times you get stuff from different manufacturers like Armor All. For some reason, Armor All canisters don't hold up. If you have them for a while, the things in them dry up. Kind of did want to go over this air filter. Looks like we have, it's supposed to have 4 screws, and I've lost them. And I only have 1. Wow. So it looks like the carburetor housing, the air filter housing, I mean, was stuck. Literally, the rubber has hardened. I did this trying to get it out, but I don't remember ever changing this filter. So I think it's the original one, or one that I never changed. May not be original. Just shoot it with some WD-40, let it sit for a while. It kind of opens up the rubber a little bit, enough to make it pliable again, so that you can get the filter out. So I got to order another air filter for this thing. Fortunately, there were so many of these bikes made that certain maintenance parts are common. If they're not the normal maintenance parts that breaks on these motorcycles, they're starting to get hard to find now. Oh geez, look at them. They're all broke. Maybe some epoxy. Okay, literally I don't think this filter was doing what it was supposed to be doing. Filtering the air to the bike. Which, in time, the bike will, even though it'll still run well, the bike will start losing compression, which that bike is suffering from a little loss of compression. I mean, when I first got it, its top speed was about 45 miles an hour. It's dropped to about 40 now. I may need to do a top end rebuild on it soon, but not right away. I mean, she'll be good for another 4 or 5 years. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to epoxy around all these cracks, and then when I go to put this back in, I just have to be careful. Well, it seems to fit okay, but I know that these screws, they're not going to hold it. Okay, I bought a gallon of this stuff. It's called Super Clean. I put it in this Armor All spray bottle. Super Clean is amazing. O'Reilly sell it. I think a lot of other places sell it, but this stuff is amazing. I mean, if you want anything off, dirt, grime, rubber, grease, residue rubber, this stuff really works well. So I'm gonna let that dry, maybe rinse it with some water to get the film off. And then we're gonna go ahead and epoxy all those cracks. They're not gonna stop the bolts from coming out permanently. I mean, especially if you bolt them up really hard, but they will add some extra strength for a while. Canisters, these old air filter canisters, these are parts that don't commonly fail. I mean, I guess they're getting old enough to where they do. And my point is, these are not easy to find now. It used to be there was a plethora of this stuff. Not anymore. So we'll let that stuff sit. I'll rinse it down with some water. Then we'll go ahead and pull back together tomorrow. So I'm missing the bolt to this. And I'm missing 3 of these. I save all my bolts and nuts. You know what's interesting? This is a silverware tray. This is from my mom and dad's first restaurant down in East San Diego. They had a restaurant for a while. The building still stands, the restaurant's gone. But this is the only thing that survived from that restaurant that I know of. I keep all my nuts and bolts in it, and I was able to find 3 that'll fit. Find me 1 more, and I got them all. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put little lock washers on these, little flat washers. That one's got a lock washer, but it needs a flat washer. That one has a flat washer, but it needs a lock washer. That one has nothing, and this one is there, but it has nothing. But I have a solution over there. This is a bunch of nuts and bolts. Yes, I know, my garage is a clutter. These things are horrible. Don't get these. Cap fell off a couple of days after I bought it. Now I got to hold it on to use it. It's ridiculous. As a matter of fact, I wonder if I have. I don't think these are all coarse. So I don't think I have anything that will fit. I can tell by looking at them. These are all coarse. And that's fine thread, which Honda uses a lot of fine thread. Which actually, fine thread is much stronger than coarse thread. Now what I'm looking for, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, just in case. 4 of those. 4 of those. That should keep those locked in pretty well, my friends. So all I need to do is find 1 more bolt for this, and I think we've got this all taken care of. Funny, the original WD-40 plant is in San Diego. It was there since the 1940s. That's where I'm from, and I remember it. So I think I need a new one of these because I ruined it getting it off, but I don't know how old this thing is, so I'm just going to get it replaced anyway. Oh, I need one of these. Wow, I'm on a roll. I found this. This is exactly what I need. Perfect. Now, I don't think I need to lock washer this because there's tension on this. I just need to make sure that it's bolted down correctly. That's my fault because there's been a lack of maintenance on this bike for years. And the reason why was a combination of reasons. One is I moved, so everything's far away. The other reason is the bike ran so good. I never really had to do anything. It just started and it ran. I mean, from San Diego, we once took these bikes up the old 101 freeway and all the way to San Clemente and back. And we carried everything that we needed to because we spent, I think, was it 2 nights or 3 nights? We spent 2 nights in tents, I think. Might have been just 1. It seemed like more, but it was, I believe we filled up on fuel on the way back. We were probably 25 miles away from home. The tanks only hold a gallon. And we could only, when we filled up, we only put in a half a gallon. We just wanted to be safe. So the whole trip, back then fuel was like $3.50. I think the whole trip was less than 2 gallons of fuel per bike. That's the way to travel, I'll tell you. And that was at least 120 miles, if not more. Carburetor is set and ready. We'll pull that out, let it soak in there for a day, and then we'll put it all back together. I still got to flush out the needle valves. So it's been one day, and I'm going to go ahead and borrow a bristle from this brush. You grab one that's already bent out of shape. Today, I started a little bit later. I think it's around 5 o'clock. People coming home from work on the only road into this valley, going to their private community. The gasket seems okay. Uh-oh, this one feels plugged up. I got it. Okay, well, looks like that's clean. Reason why I like a CRC QD electronic cleaner is because it dries really fast. I mean, once it's out of the can, it dries super, super fast. Okay. That looks pretty level. So now I'm putting in the jets. I think once the idle jet, I forget what the other one's called, but it has to control the RPM. They're both clean. They both look good. I actually had these two bolts come loose on me once when we were riding. So it seems to me like, if I remember right, everything in the intake on this bike was loose. So I believe that this valve, I forget what it's called, is original to this bike. I think the hardest part to put back on is going to be the butterfly choke. I don't really remember how it went. I'm going to have to look back at my video. On, off, reserve. Okay. Now the most important part of this carburetor that's often overlooked, this piece right here. It's like brand new. That piece just fits in there like that. So I got the bike all put back together as far as carburetor goes. I still got to put the cosmetics and the air cleaner. I'm waiting on that filter, but I've already started it. Starts up fine. Runs perfect now. Like I said, this has always been a good running bike. So I got her all complete now. She's ready to go. And we're going to take her on a little test cruise. First, I'd give her a start and let's see what she'll do this morning. I haven't decided about adjusting the valves yet, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And she's running perfect. So it's early morning, and of course we have the traffic on my lonely country road. My flagpole, oh, it's a disaster. All right, so my country road's gonna be a little bit busy, but I'm gonna give her a little shakedown cruise, just a small one, up and down my driveway. Let's see where we're at. Zena, stop it! Gosh, you're gonna get run over. Oh, she's got plenty of torque. Goes up this hill, no problem. Well, there she is in all her glory. So I didn't really spend a lot of time on doing the intricate carburetor rebuild because there's 1,000 YouTube videos out there that do a much better job than I can on rebuilding the carb. All I can say about that is it's very simple. And the only thing you really need to worry about are those two jets. The primary and secondary. I think one's an idle jet and one's a fast RPM jet. You really just need to get those clear, and those clog up no matter what. That is the original carburetor. It is running perfect now, as you can see. Start it up again. She just wants to run. No problem. Plenty of RPM, plenty of power. Rebuild the carburetor is probably the best thing you can do. It sure does beat anything else. And then occasional valves. I'm going to change the oil in it. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to touch the valves. I mean, if she's running great, my dad always used to say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Well, thank you for watching my video. I'm bringing one of my passports back to life. You have a great day and a better life. And remember to do more of what makes you happy. As long as it's legal and it doesn't hurt you. See ya.